Hello and welcome to Let's Play Disco Elysium. If you're that one person who dropped us a like, then you're epic. Keep doing that and help us to grow the channel. So, we've just picked up a mission to go and hunt for some possibly fictional, mythical creature. So we have to go and check a few traps that look just like this one. There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel setting up before. Some mesh, some wiring. Okay, look around. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building loom over the reeds. They whisper amongst themselves confidentially. Snowflakes cling to their shivering stems. Reach for the trap. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them. Big surprise, the lieutenant grins mirthlessly. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. No need to grin. I was not expecting to find anything. I'm helping some citizens and getting some fresh air. I meant no offence, just... The lieutenant doesn't know how to finish the sentence. He looks at you, putting the trap back on the ground. Okay, so is this the most direct way to go? Probably not. Can we even get around this way? Yeah, we can. Just about. Oh, can we? Can we? Can we? No. Okay, fine. We'll rely on a bit of tracking to get us around that way. I was supposed to check this trap we left with them last, I believe. They wanted this one checked last, so... can't go that way. Forgive me if I do a bit of running around trying to actually find these. We need to go to where the kind of lighthousey thing is, I think. Well, this is not where we were supposed to be going, but this is a new and interesting area. A makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. That tarp will keep out neither rain, nor snow, nor wind. A coin-operated weighing machine. Hasn't been used for a decade. A box with stuff. Ooh. Mega binos prescription lenses. I'm sure we need them more than he does. Vagrants have recently painted the red tarp. Water drips from it. Oh, there's a few things around here we can pick up. Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. Okay, take a closer look. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass. Please tell me you're not taking that with you, says Kim. But it might be a clue. A clue? You think our suspect is a seagull who's been defecating on unsuspecting jackets? It could have been multiple seagulls. The lieutenant sighs. A poet could write a dozen verses and still not begin to capture the profound vexation in that sigh. You should still take it. We may be taking it purely to annoy Kim. Ooh. Cha-ching. Ooh. And cha-ching. Can we get over this way? A big wine canister. It's open and empty. Moonshine probably. Smells like tasty fermentation. The smell. It's awful and familiar. Hold on. Isn't that just the rotting fish? Don't be naive. What is it then? Don't you recognise it? That hideous pungency, that faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Oh, something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be. Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right out here. The Lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose. So there's a guy over there. I thought he was just sitting down, but careful there. These floorboards look rotten and weak. Another murder? But let's look at this trash can first. There's some tear, an empty cigarette packet, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash. Okay. Tear, please. 2 empty bottles. 1 vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you can find. No, there's more in there. Levi's strawberry liqueur. Plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic. A tragedy. The Lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the smell. He shakes his head with genuine sadness. Maybe we will go back to that later. Let's look at this poor chap. Don't think he's too well. Gosh, working class corpse. A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there. Hold on. The Lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. 2 eyes bulging stare back at him, void of any signs of life. Lividity is fairly pronounced. Whoever this is, he's been dead for 2 days, no longer. He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket. We need to investigate. Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Careful. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. Study the surroundings. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Okay. Examine the man's head. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is where he came out of himself, drop by drop, when he was unconscious. It took 3, maybe 4 minutes. I don't see any other major wounds, do you? It's hard to say. Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench. Examine the bottle. A 0.75 litre Tulula vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. Tear all around us. Kim looks at the 2 other bottles near the coin-operated viewer, then at your yellow plastic bag. I prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper. True, it feels disrespectful. Yeah, but recycling is an important public service. You could step on the floorboards. I'm not sure that's super smart. Examine the chewing gum wrapper. Rabowski, spearmint chewing gum, green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. Look in. The blackness of death, stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there, solidified on his lower rear teeth. He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, the lieutenant shudders from the cold. I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum, it's always the same. In a ditch off a road below the 881, he thinks. A young father. Then he shakes his head to make the memory stop. Might not be smart, but let's step on the floorboards. They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was what caused the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would never have found him. Step back. Okay, study the man's clothes. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no, this sounds terribly familiar. Search his pockets. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card, folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand. Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done. Study the man himself. The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still tangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. Examine his face. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him, drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimetres. Curly hair, stout build, age approximately 50 to 60 years old. He was confused when he died, confused and alone most likely, overcome with the awful surprise of it all. He was just about to head home. The first step back home proved to be his last. That's what the chewing gum seems to point to as well. Let's look in the bin a little more, because it seems like the cigarette packet and the kebab wrapper are related to our victim. Whoever tossed the cigarette package in here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. Examine the kebab wrapper. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it. as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads, Shish Kebab Revocol. It's no older than a day, or two, no mould yet. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief. Okay. Anything else around here? Have a look at the telescope. The coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Stop messing with the coin viewer and hold on to something. The wind is strong. Who is this man? Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. He looks south, the way you came. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think? A dead working class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is. We know who this is. It's the working class woman's missing husband, dead on the boardwalk. The woman you met at the bookstand? He looks at the bundle of flesh and rags lying on the ground. Why do you think it's her husband? The leather jacket, point at the man's clothes. It matches her description perfectly. The bright blue lining? He nods, then points at the ring on the man's left hand. Well, he's definitely someone's husband. Let's have a look at the library card. Is this one right? The library card is folded into two, with still slightly wet on the touch. Oh. The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Magine, expires July 1953, or 53, sometime. Billy is a unisex name, could be the deceased or his family member. Okay, look at the back side, like you do. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55 211 or visit us at Moreau Street 78 Jamrock. Business hours 9 to 18. We should first decide what to do with the body before taking any other actions. Let's take another look at the body and talk things through. Well, I think we can look inside the library card. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Thibault. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Mostly thrillers too. Put it away. Should we have a look at the filthy jacket? As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. Oh man, how did this jacket get to be so disgusting? It's a sordid and filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? Think about it. It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that encrusts it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore. Okay, but what's the crust made of? Somehow it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk. If not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prowl the beaches at night. The faint impressions of many footprints are also present, though it's impossible to tell what kind or how many. Suffice to say, the jacket spent some time on the ground before someone draped it over the railing. What happened once someone put it on the railing? The crust is hard. The jacket spent at least a day baking in the sun. Who knows what happened to it then? I'm just going to pretend I didn't think about any of this. It's too late. You've already thought about it. Now your hands are covered in muck. Maybe I can wipe my hands on my pants? What? No! Then it'll just be on your pants. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out. Alright. What do you think happened here, Lieutenant? Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for the bench, he'd be alive. Do you think he was drunk? Point at the bottle. Oh yes, the lieutenant nods. What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure? Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behaviour. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. What about the kebab? What about it? The deceased states some kebab, he shrugs. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the pox. Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab. Could it be related to the lynching? No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case. Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now. Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous. They'll seal the place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. He smiles sourly. Right. What should we do with him? From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. Okay. We found him. We should finish this. Take the case. Alright. We already examined the library card. Let's call the Jam Library from my Keenma, see if we can learn anything about this Billy Magine. And while we're there, we should also call the station, let them know that we're taking the case. It's getting late. Let's have a good poke around this area before we completely abandon it. Doesn't look like there's anywhere else to go. Oh, that's into the church, so that's good. As I recall, one of the traps is kinda up here. At least that's what they said. Around the back. Not exactly there, but this way. Yeah, near this tower. Can we see it? Can we see it? Did we run past it? Where is the damn thing? Aha! There it is. Let's check it. A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds, another of Morale's traps, weighed down by stones to keep them in place. Look around. The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. Reach for the trap. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any zoological beast inside. Another empty trap, the lieutenant takes a note. More out of habit than duty. How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying myself. Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you? He smiles and raises his collar. It's windy. Okay, so I think we head back into the village. The third one is supposedly near the crossing. Come on, Kim, more cardio, keep up. We'll check out the church and such tomorrow. Hopefully after having found out a bit more information and having a good rest. Ooh. Oh, that was lucky. Maybe we're at Lucky Cop. Ah, this seems like it's probably the way. Yeah, there's our little sand castle. What's that say? The door is closed for today. Time to put the kids to sleep. Well, I would think so. Right. We could go to our lodgings. I think we probably should, but I would like to check out this remaining trap first. There's our quinoa, and there's the trap. This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologist. Look around. The reeds bend forlornly toward the water. Some tufts have been crushed. The broken stalks sickly pale against the darkness. In the east, the city centre hums to you. Reach for the trap. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity. Empty as all of them. Kim pants. One more of these and we're done. His face is red from the cold sea air. He crouches to catch his breath. You getting tired? No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just he's short-winded. The sentence ends there. Now, it would be nice to do the last one tonight. I don't think the time actually travels. So, unless we're in dialogue. Ergo, we can probably race over to the last trap in mere seconds of game time. Not like actual time. Now then, can I find my way back is the question. Ooh. The water runs from the west. The source is upstream. Broken pipe? Ooh. Magnesium and nosifed. Yoink. Apparently our health isn't too great. But as long as we don't get attacked by one of these mythical beings, we will probably be fine. So, last one. Back where we started. This is the last of the traps, the one Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. Look around. The reeds hiss and shake in the darkness that has settled over the abandoned camp. Reach for the trap. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. Look closer. No locusts. No phasmid either, but still. Look closer still. The lieutenant studies the trap with you. Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it's a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there? I just see an empty trap. The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground. Okay, so actually I do get the feeling that someone or something may have messed with this trap. Kim purses his lips. Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist? Or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on... Oh gosh, what's happening? This... He purses his lips. Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I am not. But what if it was a phasmid? What if it ate them and got away? Right. It does not look like he thinks you're right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out, he adds for clarity. We're not cryptozoologists. We're cops. Well, job done for the night. I think it's off to bed for us. Over this way, I think. And this is my little hut, isn't it? It's getting cold this late in the night. Time to call it a day. Good night, Kim. Send him away for the night. Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning. Enter the shack. Okay, so in theory we could go and do something without Kim. The lady with the sword seemed to indicate that she'd be, well, a bit more open to our attentions if we were alone. Or should I say that we were warned Kim was cramping our style. However, our character seemed kind of keen on having a drunk date, and I don't think that would be great for them. So let's have a look at this envelope handed to us by Everett. Okay, so we can have another go at a logic check. Cool cubic pyrite is what cramping us is giving us a -1 somehow, but our logic is still high. Is that the dice? Is that the dice we got in our inventory? Hang on. Not really sure what it's talking about. But anyway, we have a good chance at succeeding at this. There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. Wait, what are the ramifications of this? Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out. This is terrible. Poor people. Can't I do something? Well, you could trick Everett, get some random people to sign the document. By the time the union boss finds out, your business here will already be concluded. Okay, so I think another thing we wanted to do was to finish this quest of finding our bird. We've read the book, but we haven't quite decided what cockatoo we are. Honestly, this bird does sound a bit like me. Isn't it obvious which ones we are? We're the Major Majestic. Here I come. You're right. You're Majesty embodied. This big, beautiful bird belongs to your heraldry. Right. Is there any other little bits and pieces we should clear up before bed? Ah! Thought from the thought cabinet. Bringing of the law. Okay, so we now know why you have Lawjaw. Why you say the law in a weird manner, and why your jaw does that thing. You had polio as a child. You hadn't gotten vaccinated. It must have been right after the revolution. Not a lot of vaccine going around then. So you got infantile paralysis due to polio, and this jaw thing is a complication from that. Admittedly, it's not very funny, but you overcame it. This little infant survived and became a sharp-shooting super cop. So, fuck you, polio. We get learning cap raise for hand-eye coordination, succeed all hand-eye coordination passive checks, but -1 to rhetoric because the jaw is still weird. Okay. You have one more thought to think about. Guillaume Lemillion. So -1 to logic while we're internalizing this thought, and we'll be thinking about it for 4.5 hours. Okay. Have a whole lot of tasks which we can definitely sort tomorrow, quite a lot of those. We need to do some questioning. So, I think to bed, perchance to dream. Go to sleep. Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever on Ferrotape.
Spinning in eternity.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars. Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time. The smoke in her mouth, the potted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
The rain, the snow. I don't want to. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop. Whirling. Spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harristar. A ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right. I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
Will we?
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off your lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Open your eyes. That actually seemed like one of our better nights. Yay, and we healed that health that we lost. Still look like crap though. Hey Kim. I need to... good morning. Good morning. Okay. So, I think we'd better go back to the whirling. As we have things to be doing there. We have to go and... Well, assuming I can actually find my way, but we have to go to the Keenma. And do some phone calls. And we have some more interrogations, so to speak. What's the best way across here? Was it up round here? It's been a while. Yes, no? Maybe? No, can't get through here. So, what, this way? I have the most terrible sense of direction. Ah yes, little small bridge. I'm sure Kim's loving the cardio as usual. What the hell? Leave my Keenma alone. I will see what's going on in a moment. It looks like we can still use it. Yeah. Okay, pick up the radio. So, did you find out more about the owner of the armoured boots? No word still. Seriously? Seriously? Come on. So I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk. One moment, you hear her shuffling through some papers. Can you please describe the body, age, sex, cause of death? An unidentified middle-aged man. Height 170, 175 centimetres. Dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell, says Kim. There were bottles all around him and traces of vomit on his shirt. Any signs of violence? No, seems like it was an accident. No field autopsy necessary, she repeats. You can hear her quickly typing in the background. What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes? He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets. Any information on the library card? It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Magine. Good, you have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else? We're taking the case. I've assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. Is this a way of avoiding telling us our name if assuming we haven't found it out yet? That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you? How about connecting me to the Jamrock Public Library? I'm afraid they're closed. He says here that the library is open from 10 to 6 p.m. Okay, so we're a bit early. Yes, we should try again during business hours. Fine. Let's find out what these guys are doing hanging around our car. Excuse me.
That's one brutal motor carriage,
says the young man with the piss something written on his back.
If I were a real skull right now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it neon style.
His companion wears a simple yet elegant slogan, "Fuck the world."
snazzy shit ripped skull mobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads, scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of the presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls. Yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs. Who are the skulls? You don't know? What kind of cop are you? It's not a question. Don't get into it. Oh, I'm so glad you asked. The question was rhetorical, he replies, raising an open hand. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the best Mertnai. Best Mertnai or Best Merti, the Immortals, are West Revicolian crime syndicates. The nastiest bunch of psychos ever, jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases. Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi. Say nothing. They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted, bottom-lighted vehicles. Oh, I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive. Do you guys know Cindy the Skull? The young man's eyes glaze over as he remarks in a voice filled with longing, "Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull." Yeah, the other guy lights up too. A true artist of the future, just like Arno van Eyck. By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards, he adds, returning from whatever void he was just visiting. For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. Odd. There isn't a hint of hate in them. It's like they're piss and fuck the world out of some kind of moral obligation. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient towards them. I see you kids are into anodic dance music. Oh man, yeah, he exclaims, then stops himself, processing the rest of your question. We're not fucking kids, man. Be wary of the abyss, his blonde friend adds ominously and points to his temple. Why? It's a threat, the lieutenant answers for the two rebels. An impotent threat of violence. I just wanted to talk about music, and now there's a conflict all of a sudden. It's too much. Nervously shake your head. That's right, the young man says, looking unsure of himself. You should back off and let silence rule supreme. What is wrong with you? Now you're just empowering these punks. This is ridiculous. The lieutenant gives you an irritated glance. Boys, do you know why the gang is called Skulls? Yeah, the skull symbol symbolises the embrace of death and nothingness that is present in all of us. The vehicle of our future operations, death and nothingness. They're called skulls because when you're shot dead in the middle of the street, the skull is the only part the stray dogs won't eat. Just trust me and follow my lead, thinks Kim. So, boys, want to feed the dogs? No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on anything. He looks very uncomfortable. Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez? The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned, the lieutenant replies instead. That's why there isn't much organised crime around here. Apart from the Union themselves, of course. Don't you worry about that. We're going to make up for the deficit. Yeah, we are, the young men and exchange approving nods. Your rhetoric is confusing. Are you part of the Skulls or not? We're not franchise Skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them. What makes you think that organisation would accept you? Because we can be just as psycho and vicious, you'll see. But in a non-threatening and definitely illegal way, the other one quickly adds, and whispers something to his friend. We'll fuck the system from the inside later, but be cool now, the damage will be tenfold. Right on, fuck, the blonde agrees and provocatively spits on the pavement. So what's happening now? Enough about this scullery then. He throws a longing glance at the Keenma. Do you know anything about the murder that took place here? Murder? A man was hanged in the backyard of the Whirling. Oh, yeah, sure. We're glad to tell you everything we know about that. He clears his throat. It was a man. Also, he was hanged. Don't fuck around. I am the law. He was hanged from a tree. Yeah, I mean, duh. These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along. Yeah, stop right there. How does one know anything? Ah, this sounds like epistemology, a field so occupied with thought that it begins to question thought itself. However, there is no way these young men could possibly be aware of her work. I know that you don't know shit. Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind the hostel? What if it's art, or just a mere spectre? That could be the case. Yes, a brilliant work of art. The lieutenant raises an eyebrow, but does not comment. What's with the jackets? What about them? Turn to the blonde. Why does your jackets have piss blah 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 written on it? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterises me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss blah blah blah, blah etomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And I guess it's also some communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye, and since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message. What? What I mean by that is, we are all piss blah, 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 and that the world is inherently meaningless. It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow. Okay, so why do you have "fuck the world" written on your jacket? Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it. I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely? To catch a fish, you need to hurl the lure many times. And even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though, that's a terrible metaphor. You get more fish in a shorter time. And for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking some one. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void. Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets and two badass cops? Hey Kim, lower your voice. Yes? What do you think about their jackets? Leather jackets adorned with immature writing. The ideology they convey helps the boys justify poor choices in life and fashion. The lieutenant shrugs. I'm not a fan. Why are you always so patronising when cool possibilities cross our path? The lieutenant looks confused. What are you implying? Which one would you wear? I'm not sure I understand you, detective. Are you more of a piss or a fuck the world kind of guy? Neither. Come on, Kim, it's just a mental exercise. Fine. If only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were already be down that path, I think piss is the stronger of the two statements. That works. I feel more like a fuck the world kind of guy. Seems about right, the lieutenant remarks, especially considering your heroic exit attempts. That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there. So, are we done here? One of the jacket owners asks impatiently. You don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you? Ooh. Ask the jackets for yourself and the lieutenant. Half-light. So I'll say we're done for now. And then put on some funky clothes and see if we can't get our half-light totally boosted. I think, what was it, these ones? Yeah. The down uncomfortable trousers. And I've got a feeling there's something else. Half-light. We're getting our intimidation on. Not those ones. Not those ones. Is that it? Looks like that might be it. Alright, well that does help slightly. The question is, should we boost our stats?
That ride is fucking.
Hey! Look who it is! Shrunken cop head material!
That's a fair old chance, that is. No. Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. The boys dream about being skulls. Use that. Wait, how? Suggest they're massive skulls. Come on. Boys with those jackets, you're gonna be Skull Kings in no time. What? No. He quickly looks around. Skulls don't have kings. He pauses. I think we're not even in yet. Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take it lightly when folks pretend to be them. We're not even prospects yet. Prospect? Must be a hierarchical term. Probably in the lower end. Raise your voice. Not even prospects and already aspiring to be kings? Wow, you boys are ambitious. The lieutenant's voice rings over the plaza. Only prospects and already planning a coup for the skulls? You're destined to go far. He gets it. Passive-aggressive flattery. Shut the fuck up. The youth presses through his clenched teeth. There's panic in his eyes. Are you trying to get us killed? Now, bring up the jackets and, yes, start shouting. Yes, we want to be cool killer skulls too, like you guys, but we don't have skull jackets. Please be quiet. Not much left of the nihilistic rebel at this point. The young man before you is scared out of his mind. What? What do you want? The jackets? You got it. No need for cruelty. You offer us your jackets like that? It'd be impolite to refuse. Reach out your hand. Oh man, his shoulders slump under the weight of sadness. Okay, he says finally, I get it. Skulls don't wear slogans anyway. This is stupid. Ooh, got the cool jackets. The other one sighs deeply. The lieutenant watches the boys take their jackets off with mild amusement. Since you said you were more of a piss kind of guy, I'll take the other one. I'm absolutely okay with not having either one, thank you. But don't you want to express your individuality? I already am expressing my individuality, says Kim. I'm not. I don't have a jacket anymore. Good. I wanted you not to express yours. Cold-hearted cop. Well, whatever, I'll take both of them then. Do. I'm fine with that, says Kim. Pity, the jackets are meant to complete each other. If a man were standing alone on a street corner with piss written on his back, it'd just be an individual that has taken a liking to urine. And fuck the world, all on its own, is frankly generic. The dark-haired young man just stands there, defeated. The wind blows. I don't know, Eric. It's cold out, he finally says to his friend. Yeah, the blonde man replies. Let's get out of here. The cops fucked us. Okay. So this one adds to drama, and this one adds to Heartflight. So if we're really wanting to intimidate someone, we should be pretty good at it now. Yeah, I probably don't want to be walking around with no pants, so... These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose. Moderate in every sense. Blend right in at some pleasant dinner party. Oh, this is because of the pants we just put on. Oops, a fashion faux pas. Discard the thought and the pants. Let's hope no one saw you wearing those outrageously regular, almost moralist pants. So we're not wearing pants anymore. Oh, okay. Jeans are always good. Can't go wrong with jeans. But also cannot be too boring. Right, so yeah, I've got a feeling that jacket might do very well in intimidating the Hardy Boys. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Please come back, give me a like, tell your friends, why not? And so long. Thank you to my epic patrons who make videos like these possible. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more, don't forget to subscribe.